My name is Curtis Matthews, and this is my ENGG4500 Assignment 2 puzzle. It measures approximately 275 by 230 by 40 millimeters, and according to clause 4.1, including the ball, the base, which has a plastic bottom to it, and the blocks, has 18 pieces. The instructions are as follows, whereby according to clause 3.1 the user must manually maneuver the blocks inside the puzzle in such a way that when the ball is entered into one of the two designated start holes, seen here, it makes its way through the carved holes inside of the blocks and exits the designated finish hole just here, seen there. There are at least five possible solutions to this puzzle, also according to clause 3.1. Now the user loses if the ball enters the vacant space inside of the puzzle or exits one of the two holes here or here. Now, beginning with clause 1.1, there are four main methods in which the sighted user is misguided. The most predominant of which is the black lines on top of the blocks. One may assume that these correlate with the tunnels inside of them. However, as you can see on this one, there is a straight line indicated, but the reality is the block is a corner piece. This can be demonstrated over here. The ball goes in and comes out over here, which doesn't make sense with this schematic. Secondly, the symbols and letters used on top of the blocks may insinuate that they have to be connected in this way, but that is also a misguided adventure. One may also assume that A has to be done first, or B has to be done, etc., etc. Thirdly, there are two starting holes. One is much more beneficial than the other, which will be explored later on. And lastly, there are numbers on the base of the puzzle, which one may assume has to be ordered in such a way that it is counting upwards or downwards, which is also a misguided adventure. Now, according to clause 2.1, the first instinct for someone with no sight may be to feel the puzzle. On the starting holes, they look the same, but this one has a lighter grade of sandpaper on it, which indicates to the blind user is the correct one to go with. Now the finishing hole also has a rougher grade of sandpaper on it, which familiarizes the blind user with these two types of sandpapers, which will be used to help them throughout. At each time there is a gap in the board, there will only ever be one of these types of sandpapers available on the edges, which allows the blind user to follow the type of sandpaper they wish to in order to find the correct solution. Now here, there is no more sandpaper available, so they know they have done it. Now if I enter the ball into this hole here, you can hear it moving, and then I move it this way, and then I move it upwards, and then I move it downwards, and it comes out of the correct hole. Now, the second method of assisting the blinded user is, in these blocks, each time that it goes the correct way, there is a nail at the other end, which when the metal ball hits the nail, it makes a sound. So the user knows that they are going the correct path. Now these two types of sandpapers indicate the two paths that the blind user can take in order to find the correct solution. This schematic over here indicates where all the nails are placed, the sandpapers are placed, which of the paths correlate with the real paths, and the initial setup pattern with the numbers on the other side.